news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. President Trump reportedly says he's decided to pause strikes on Iran to give negotiations another chance, minimizing the prospect of a potential military escalation of the war. Trump tells Axios that, quote, very deep talks are taking place with Iran and that, quote, if they don't work out, we will go back to a very strong military action. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman says no formal negotiations are currently taking place. Oil prices are lower, however, about 7% lower for crude oil. WTI crude now at $83 a barrel and Brent crude right at $89 a barrel. Nvidia says it made a substantial investment in safe superintelligence. In addition to that investment, SSI will also receive access to Nvidia's next generation Vera Rubin platform. Nvidia has backed a number of prominent AI startups, which also rely on the chipmaker's hardware to build and run their software, including with SK Hynix, a deal worth more than $500 billion. Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow says some of those deals have been criticized for being circular in nature, creating an increasingly interconnected web of dependency between tech suppliers and AI startups.
It doesn't even take into account the sort of part B of that story, which is Nvidia financing OpenAI's purchase of Nvidia chips of $350 billion. And that's where the concern on circular financing probably is more concentrated.
Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow. Nvidia also said to be in talks to help OpenAI finance a massive data center in Ohio, as well as a data center under construction in South Korea. Nvidia president and CEO Jensen Huang tells Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow in an exclusive interview in San Francisco, this is the golden age for Korea.
Their semiconductor business is booming. Their industrial business is booming. This is a country that has the ability to help the world build out the AI infrastructure, that they're incredibly adept at adopting new technologies.
Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang speaking with Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow. And the chip sell-off has offset lower oil prices. We do check those markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 is down 0.1%. NASDAQ down 0.3%. The Dow is up 0.2%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.64% and the 2-year yield at 4.3%. Philadelphia Semiconductor Index now more than 4% lower, led by Nvidia, which is now more than 4.5% lower. Sales at LVMH's fashion and leather goods unit rose 1% last quarter, missing analyst estimates. The conflict in the Middle East deterred wealthy shoppers. If not for that conflict, LVMH's quarterly sales would have grown by 4% instead of 3% at the group level. LVMH's watches and jewelry unit posted an 11% jump in sales in the second quarter, way ahead of estimates, with jewelry being an industry bright spot. Shares of LVMH now more than 1% higher. Shares of Cracker Barrel are more than 5% lower. The company now has a new CEO, David Dino, replacing Julie Masino, who fought to help the brand recover from political backlash over that 2025 rebranding, when Cracker Barrel simplified its logo and redesigned its restaurants, moving away from the old-timey aesthetic. President Trump plans to tout his handling of the economy during a visit to suburban Detroit today as he visits a General Motors facility. Early voting is also underway for Michigan's August 4th primary, which features nomination fights in both major political parties. Republican Mike Rogers is unopposed in the Senate primary, but the GOP gubernatorial contest pits Trump-backed Representative John James against Perry Johnson, a businessman turned politician. 3 people were killed and at least 5 others injured in a shooting at a food festival near Seattle's Space Needle yesterday. Seattle Police Assistant Chief of Special Operations Tyrone Davis says police believe there were 2 shooters who were aiming at each other.
Officers responded and addressed one of the shooters. That person gave up and was taken into custody. There was another person that we believe that was also involved that fled the scene.
Seattle police are investigating and advised people to avoid the area, with 1 suspect in custody and an additional suspect at large. Fire crews in southwest France are fighting a massive wildfire that has burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. The blaze forced 220,000 people to flee near Bordeaux. Spain also fighting its largest ever fires, with evacuations around Madrid and Valencia. Authorities are urging stronger climate action as heat waves intensify the crisis. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. Bloomberg.